And our very own Roseanne Rogers, sales manager of Stewart Title, is right here. Roseanne, what a month and what a beginning to our Go Texan edition of shows.
I'm ready to rodeo, Bill. I mean, I'm telling you, I've got the boots on, but I have to say I kind of wear them all year round, not just during the Rodeo Houston time. But you know that the Houston Livestock Show is big. When you're watching CBS This Morning, one of my favorite shows on Sunday morning, and we're part of the calendar listing.
Is that right?
They say Tuesday. Guess what's happening in Houston? It's the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo, the largest rodeo shows ever. I was like, we are so on the map, not just here, but around the country. It's
Indeed.
So true.
And people arrive daily to be a part of the rodeo. And there's so many great things. And I think sometimes in some places people think that we're always wearing boots and we all have a horse in our yard. Maybe some of us do, but there's a great image of the Go Texan heritage that we have right here in Houston, Texas, and it's super fun. It's also super fun at Stewart Title year long, but especially when we have an excuse to make it more fun, like the rodeo.
I'm serious. Yeah. Well, we just came off of the barbecue cook-off. Of course, we had so many customers out there. It was fun, entertaining, the live music and walking around. And the weather couldn't have been better. You know, I was on the barbecue committee for 10 years. And, of course, this is the one year that I go off it after 10 years. And the weather is absolutely beautiful. I'm thinking to myself, no, wait a second. After all this, the 10 years I was on the barbecue committee, how many years that we was freezing and cold. And this weekend, it couldn't have planned it any better. It was perfect.
One of the things that comes to mind, too, is when someone has just moved to Houston, and I'm thinking of someone in particular that moved from, I think, Mississippi, it's always fun to initiate someone into some of the festivities we have here in Houston, Texas anyway, but especially during this season.
It just never gets old. It's a Houston tradition, but I just love being out there. Whether you go to the actual performer of the shows or I personally like the rodeo events. And that's what's so fun. I mean, bareback bronc riding is still my favorite competition ever, in addition to bull riding. But I just love being out there. It's just part of our culture. It's just great.
And in fact, as we talk about the scope of the rodeo, certainly here in Houston, Texas, it also re-energizes the real estate market, I think, especially for realtors, because they're such a big part. But I want to say this. I almost started the show by saying real estate matters coast to coast, because I've been getting emails from Culver City, California, Pennsylvania. Of course, that might be my relatives. I'm just thinking. But anyways.
Maybe a few, Bill, but I bet you some other people aren't doing that as well.
Even Dallas, Texas.
Well, hey, Houston is happening. That's what it's all about. Our real estate market is huge. We're phenomenal. Coming off a great January, February, and now heading into March. It's going to be phenomenal numbers. And I do remember that Dr. Ted C. Jones did tell us that back in January, didn't he, Bill?
Not that long ago.
Not that long ago. He said, be ready. You want to put your house on the market, you need to do it. We were talking about interest rates. I mean, you can't listen to another radio station or turn on the television or even online where you're seeing that the interest rates refinance is going to be amazing. Of course, we at Stewart Title can do that as well, in addition to closing your house. But it's incredible and it's exciting. It's very exciting for us who live and breathe and love real estate the way that we do to see what's really happening in the market right now.
There are so many things going on in the news in general, and a lot of those things I think are going to, even some of the things that might be bad are going to affect the real estate market in a very interesting way. And we talk about Dr. Jones. It would be interesting to see what his updated forecast is, and we'll probably have him on the show sometime soon to do so.
Well,
but in the
you'll not
meantime,
only have
yes.
him on the show, but then, of course, of our offices, if you're in touch with your business development officers, we are going to have a recap in June and July, a 6-month update with Dr. Ted C. Jones on the economic forecast of where we're going into. So where we've been, where we are, and then where we're going to finish up the year. I think 2020 is going to be a pretty phenomenal year.
It is like we want to know what happens when we turn the page. It is like a sizzling novel already. It is crazy. In fact, you mentioned Dr. Jones. I will mention him. I was with a friend that I just met over the weekend, and she says, well, how's Dr. Jones? I'm like, everybody knows him, even people outside of
He's
the
a household name.
He is the eighth wonder of the
he's
real estate
amazing
world.
to me that he could actually make some of our business, which isn't very fun and interesting. It can be rather boring, but it's like you're intrigued. I saw his presentation, I admit, probably 10 times. And each time he would change it up just a little bit, but it was good. It was interesting. And I also picked up, like anything in life, what do they say? 3 times you have to hear it, see it, think it, 3 times before it really sinks in. And I felt like I learned so much from him. And if you did miss that, if you missed it, hopefully you can catch our 6-month update that's coming up. But also follow him on Twitter, because he always is tweeting out different things. And also follow all your business development offices, because we have Facebook and Instagram and social media. And of course, our business development officers always get that latest information from Ted, and we give it to all of you.
A key word, as I always say, stay close to your steward title business development officer.
Yep.
And that rings true even more as we progress through the year through these radio shows. And you are leading the team, Roseanne, in a tremendous way with the A-plus team of business development people all the time. How do you do it? And let's tell people about some of the things that are going on.
You got the best segues, Bill. I'm telling you, because I was just thinking to myself,
up all night.
I was going to talk about, I'm so excited. We do have a new business development officer starting in Pearland and Friendswood this week. That's just the tease. You're just going to have to wait, but she's amazing. So you already know it's a she, but that's all I'm going to say, that she's fantastic. I'm so excited. She's going to be such an asset to our team, and very, very, very excited what she can bring to us. But it's always bringing people with different backgrounds that can add to this team. The team is very diverse. It's great. We work collaboratively together, and it's just exciting for all of us to work together. So there's a lot of exciting things in Pearland and Friendswood. And then, are you ready for it, Bill?
Go.
Are you ready for it? We've
Yes.
got a big move coming up. Our champions office, our business development officer up there, Lynn Riddle, we're moving. Not
That's right.
far, but we're moving. Moving on up to a higher, different floor and a different down the street. So we're going to...
So everybody's getting a raise.
Yeah, right. In a matter of speaking, they are.
You're going up.
Absolutely, we are. We're so excited about their new offices there. And then the grand opening is April 16th. So you'll be hearing, if you're in that area, live and work in that area, you'll be hearing all about the grand opening of the new Champions office. But we officially moved this month. So big month. It's a rodeo. It's a relocation month. It's a real estate matters month on anything that's going on.
So much going on. Before we close out the segment, anything else, Roseanne, we should know?
You know what? We need to get through rodeo. I hope the weather's great. But then, what is that thing that we have every single year? That season.
I think they call it hurricane
Yeah, that
season.
hurricane season's going to be right after rodeo. So after we fully embrace rodeo as much as we can, we have to gear up for rodeo. So be looking for our Don't Get Rocked by a Hurricane presentations throughout the city, where we'll update you on anything and everything that's going on that you need to know in the real estate market, that we can make sure that we're prepared, because where we live, that's always it's never going to go away for us. So we have to make sure that we're embracing it and taking the hurricane season by storm. Here we go. There we go.
And if you want to know anything real estate, wherever you are in the Houston area and even beyond, stay close to your Stewart Title Business Development Officer. They may have answers to the questions, or they'll find out.
They can, and they can always go to Stewart.com. If you're in an area and you're like, I'm not really sure who my business development officer is, I want to know more about the escrow officers and the team there, you can go to Stewart.com and just punch in where you are. Cypress, Champions, Galveston, League City, you name it.
There you
Haiti,
go.
Interloop, you name it. We're all over. We have 36 units throughout the city of Houston. So
Super awesome.
We've got you covered.
That's right. Stewart.com. Roseanne Rogers, thank you, Roseanne. We're going to come right back with even more, right?
Yeah, absolutely we are.
I remember that old